Troy, let me ask you something about a mortgage. I am self-employed. I was talking to my banker the other day and they said I was denied. How could they tell me I was denied? I make a lot of money, a ton of money, $100 million a year. But my tax returns show I have a negative $100. Why in the world could they not give me a loan? Can you answer that for me? That's interesting. I'm sorry that you heard about that. I'm sorry that you heard that you could not get that loan. But let's break it down into this. I want to make sure you understand the importance of what debt to income is. See, debt to income is basically the money that you make and how much of that money that you're making going to your debt and how much money you have left over, right? So this is a simple formula like this. Take your debt, divide it by your income. It's going to give you a decimal answer. You take that decimal point answer and you times it by 100. That'll make it into a full whole number, okay? So for example, say you have a debt of $1,500 a month you pay in debt. And then you have an income of $3,000. You divide that debt to the income, it's gonna have at 50%. It's gonna be 0.50. Take that 0.50, you times it by 100, that's gonna give you 50%. So 50% of your income goes towards your debt. So for your sake, okay, unfortunately, you have $100 million you make a year, but when you look at your taxes, it shows a negative $100. Now, of course, you may have made a lot of money throughout the year. You look good, you're driving a new Maserati, whatever it may be. But when it comes down to the loan purposes, the bank is always gonna look at the worst case scenario. We're gonna look at the worst case scenario because why? We need to get the money back. It's not personal. So if you show a negative $100 that you're making a year after you did all your write-offs, when it comes down to getting that loan, it's gonna have to unfortunately be declined. So it's important to understand the debt to income ratio. When you're self-employed, I want to encourage all self-employed individuals out there. I know it makes tons of sense to write everything off because you don't want to pay no money to Uncle Sam. But when it comes down to you actually want to borrow money from me, that income is very important. I have to show that you can sustain the actual debt, the actual new payment, and you have money to pay for it. And if you don't have any money to pay for it on paper, unfortunately, you're going to be declined. If you have any questions about anything, say you're a self-employed individual that went out there trying to get a loan and it did not work out because that person, that bad banker said you don't have the money to pay for the loan. If you need some more clarity, you give me a call because maybe I can clear some things up. We may actually be able to get you that loan. Or I can clarify it to make sure you understand why you were denied. But don't worry about that. Right now, it's all about getting approved, right? You call me 615-335-1991 and we'll take care of that mortgage situation for you. Holla.